Happy Wednesday, everybody. Andy and Steve from WagerTalk.com. Welcome to the Road to Millions. We've got your sleeper of the day, fade of the day, stat of the day, and we're going to hockey for the Unbreakable Sports Record Hall of Fame. I think you can imagine who we're going with. This record, Steve. It's a great one. Uh, so let's do some positive vibes, though, here, guys. Let's take a look at some of the comments we got on Mondays. Give us a like, by the way, and leave a comment. Tell us your wins. We want to hear about all the good stuff that's going on. Jabaka says, love the show, guys. Thank you. Rich Paul does back to team positive vibes. Hafsky loves this show. Andy and Steve. Like Merlin here. My read on the Saints. The Pats game basically turned out correct. Thought the Saints were going to win by a touchdown. It just keeps piling on your Patriots,
Yeah.
Steve. And by the way, you're not getting any sympathy. You're not getting any sympathy from any of
Oh
us.
yeah. I know. I know. This time had to come in my life.
Right. So, oh yeah. Tito Braun here had -6.5 Dolphins first half. 10-0 at the goal line. Tua throws the pick six, makes it 7-10. They go down, hit a field goal. 2 seconds left on the clock. That also cashed the team total for the Dolphins. It was 15.5, and they
Yeah.
barely get there over. So, all right, guys, let's get back to what we're talking about here on the Road to Millions, and we'll start with the fade of the day, Steve. This was funny. Your fade of the day and my sleeper of the day were almost the same play. It's just starting pitching, right?
Yeah. We're fading the starters today in the Dodgers and Diamondbacks game. We're going to go with the first five over 5.5. We've got two starting pitchers here who both have ERAs close to 6 during the regular season. Lance Lynn allowed 44 home runs. So about the most in history was 50. Bly Levin gave up 50 and 46. So Lynn's 44 home runs are, I think, third on the all-time list. Brandon Pfaadt, ERA close to 6 as well. He faced the Dodgers twice and gave up 10 runs in only 8.2 innings. We have some hot Diamondback bats. They've been crushing the ball. They haven't lost yet in the postseason, and the Dodgers have their backs up against the wall. So I'm expecting both teams to be hungry to score runs early in the game. Diamondbacks looking to put their foot on their throats, and the Dodgers looking to survive one more night. So give us the over 5.5. It's a big number for the first five. We're used to 4.5s for these, but in this situation with these two starters on the mound, I'm expecting at least one of them to get lit up, and if not both, and then potentially both contribute to going to 6 runs here in the first 5 innings.
Yeah, so fade of the day. I had picked the Diamondbacks team total as my sleeper play of the day. That turns
Yeah,
out
it's a good one.
wasn't too sleeper. so uh, so yeah, that's going to be our fade of the day. My sleeper of the day is going to be Sky Moore. Give me his under 28.5. He has 2 catches for 11 yards in the last 2 games combined. This is one of the more disappointing guys. I mean, he was supposed to be a breakout, like fantasy football. He was popular pick there, and it's just not happening. He's not getting open. He has 2 targets in each of the last 2 games. And this is a Broncos team. This is the worst rush defense in the league. Isaiah Pacheco's rushing total is 75.5. So, Gronk is banged up, but this could just be a monster game for Pacheco and for McKinnon and for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Like I don't know. I don't see it here. Like 2 catches for 11 yards in the last 2 games combined.
Yeah, that's wild. And only 2 targets in the last 2 games. I mean,
Well, 2 targets each game, but
yeah,
it's still like you got to catch both of them, and one of them's got to be a pretty decent long pass. So Sky Moore, it's not happening. This Kansas City wide receiving core is just it's not happening. So
yeah.
I'm gonna look to fade him. I think this is a pretty shockingly high number here. So I'll my sleeper of the day is fading Sky Moore under here. So you have a very interesting stat of the day, Steve. Let's talk this one out.
So the New Orleans Saints have gone under their total in 14 of their last 15 games. This includes every game this season, and no game this season has exceeded 37 points. The Texans have also played in 3 games that have failed to exceed 40 points, and the total on Sunday is 42.5 between these two teams. What do you think?
I mean, all signs point to the under. I mean, the Saints have the perfect recipe: clunky offense and really good defense. It's perfect.
Yeah, it
you
really
know,
is.
the Texans. This would also, it's a good call on the Texans. They're going to be without Tank Dell. Um, that's it just takes away another weapon that can open up, the field and can open up plays. So yeah, it does. It looks like a good spot for an under. I think the Texans are going to struggle to run the ball, and I don't think the Saints are going to have to exactly stack the box to slow down the Texans running game. So yeah, it's hard to see a lot of touchdowns in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Texans they usually get it through the air, and that's the Saints' defensive strength. Yeah, the Saints team is just built for it right now, especially with Carr, not really being able to throw it very deep recently and stuff. It's just really clunky offense and a great defense. I think 42.5 is a great number for the under in this game. I
Yeah.
mean, even if you wanted to look, first half, first quarter unders and stuff like that as well, I think those are in play.
Yeah, yeah. So, before we get to the Unbreakable Sports Record Hall of Fame, we so just to recap, we broke even on tennis. We did hit a nice 1% play on Dana White Contender Series. We're continuing to keep the units pretty low, coming off that big hot streak. We had a down week last week, so we're playing it very, very cautious. All access clients, there's a really nice play up there. It's a golf and UFC parlay, but again, it's only 1%. We're just trying to chip away and make sure we're not in a losing streak. It's really, really important. We always stress this that it's you can go on hot streaks, but how do you limit the damage when you go on a natural cold streak? I don't think we're on a cold streak. We're just coming off of one week, but Steve, you want to just talk to like what our mindset is this week with lowering the volume and picking our spots?
Yeah, we're just going to take it easy early in the week, especially you know, the this we don't have a lot of sports early in the week. We haven't been playing too much for the MLB. Luckily, we have NHL now back, and then NBA coming around the corner as well. So we'll have some other sports to work with then. But it was our first really bad Sunday in a while, so we just want to make sure that we're not in a real funk here, and we don't just keep giving away units and give away all the profits that we gained over the past couple of months.
Yeah, it was our first down Sunday of the football season, so not bad when it's week 5.
Week
Like,
five, yeah.
yeah, if it was week 1 and we were like, that's our first really bad Sunday, that's a problem.
Yeah.
so, so
This is definitely the time when you got to adjust, though. These teams, we have a lot of injuries that we have to keep our eyes open for. Teams making adjustments themselves as well, and we just have to be ready to change, to pivot when we need to.
yeah, I mean, it's an interesting point that you brought up. Like, look at some of these teams and adjusting. I mean, how close is Minnesota now to complete tank mode?
Yeah,
Jefferson's on that hamstring. When they put him on IR for that hamstring, I mean, Deontay Johnson had that hamstring. They're on bye this week. That's a 6-week injury for him.
hmm
That could be the case with Jefferson. And if you're Minnesota, what are you playing for? I mean, I heard an amazing case for Minnesota being able to tank and putting Caleb Williams with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Oh my
yeah,
God.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then,
So
I mean, even just the simple things like you talk about Jefferson being out now, and we had Osborne under this past week, and it cashed, but now, I mean, it just seems very obvious, but you can't overlook it. And now Osborne, I'm looking at his overs this week when those lines come
he's,
out for sure because
he's picked up
he's
in
going to
my
be heavily,
fantasy leagues.
yeah, he's going to be heavily involved now with no Justin Jefferson. That's for sure.
That amazing. Just one week, we're like, oh no, fade KJ Osborne. No, go get him on your waiver wire. Uh,
It'll be interesting to see how the books adjust to it though and stuff like that. But yeah, the injuries are stacking up like they always do in the NFL though. And this seems like that time of year though when you start to lose some games. You lose some picks because things change that you didn't if you don't adjust to them in time.
I will tell you, I'm looking really hard at the Giants team total over 14 and a half. I don't know if Daniel Jones is going
It's
to play, but if he doesn't, Tyrod Taylor comes in, and I kind of like sometimes when a decent backup comes in because the other team doesn't have any film on him. And
yeah,
that Bills team, they keep losing big guys to injury every week, and so it's like you look at the Bills and you look at their like defensive numbers and you're like, this is an elite defense. It's like that's not the same team that's out there right now. That's not the same unit
Yeah,
So those are
100%.
that's a perfect example of the Bills. That's going to be everybody's survivor pool pick. I already know it. I could just go to the spreadsheet now and just put Bills, 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 and I don't know if I'm going with the Bills. I That sounds silly, but it would be so Giantsy. Wouldn't it be so Giantsy to sign Daniel Jones with a big contract and then to have Tyrod Taylor come in and
Come
win?
in and win. That would be very New York Giants like, right? But
Yeah,
yeah, I was already kind of looking at them for the survivor. I think the Bills will still, win the game, but you're right, those defensive injuries are piling up, and then that team total for the Giants over 14 and a half might be a good look because they're going to have to score to keep up. The Bills are still going to score
they're gonna
points, so
have
they're going
to.
to have to score some points to keep
Yeah,
up.
and it's just not. That is not the Bills' defense. That's not the Bills' unit. That is out there on the field. So something interesting. So monitor your units, guys. Hey, if you're on a hot streak and you got units to play with, by all means, take advantage of it. If you're, coming off a losing week, then just, pump the brakes a little bit, and we'll see if we can get back to the winning ways to keep this amazing year going on. So, all right, let us do the Unbreakable. I have to get us some music for the Unbreakable Sports Record Hall of Fame here. It's pretty ridiculous we don't have
Yeah, we
music.
need to have a theme song for it.
Yeah, gotta have something. Okay, Unbreakable Sports Records Hall of Fame nominee is Mr. Wayne Gretzky, 2,857 career points. So this was one that you and I, Steve, had kind of been saving since start of hockey season. So you did all the stats. I looked them up too, and pretty amazing. So let's just start going there. That top one, man, averaged 1.92 points per game. That's insanity.
It's wild. When I saw that, I had to double check it to make sure that it was correct. You know what I mean? Like it was like 2 points per game, basically. How is anyone ever going to do that over that long a period of time? You know what I mean? This is like the Henderson and the Emmett Smith were unbreakable, but this might be the one.
Yeah, well, we're definitely gonna have to fast track some baseball ones. There's too many baseball ones that we can't do it, like Cy Young, and his win total.
Yeah.
But so let's start talking this one out here. So start going through these points here. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so I got some other ones too, but like he has the career and season records obviously for goals and assists. Across the board. He has the the points across the board, and you look at it, he's season wise, he's finished. If you stacked up all his different seasons, he's finished first, second, third, fourth, sixth, seventh, ninth, 10th, 11th. If you go through 1 through 11th on the season list for points, the only spots that he doesn't occupy are the 5th and 8th slots. So Yammer Yager is second,
Here,
and
I got that on the next slide.
Oh, okay.
Do the
this one,
fantasy
yeah.
league. Do the fantasy league.
So I also saw that fantasy leagues back then needed to split him up into two different players: Gretzky goals and Gretzky assists. So you could have. I doubt anyone ever had Gretzky on their same team. So I'm assuming he was a first round draft pick, whether you had his goals or assists. But it was too much of a disadvantage to have him as one player. You had to split his goals and assists in half in fantasy leagues.
So like if you had like the first overall pick, you were like, I'll take Gretzky assists.
Yeah.
And then like the fourth pick was like, I'll take Gretzky goals.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, obviously, this is like in the infancy of fantasy leagues. You know what I mean? I don't think these were live drafts, but I played fantasy way back in the day on online leagues, not NHL, but MLB, and splitting those that was hilarious to me though. Just hearing that you had to split them up into two players. So Yammer Yager is second with 1,921 points. He played 246 more games, and he's still 936 short of the mark from Gretzky.
Wow.
Crosby's the current leader at 1,502 in 1,190 games. And then some just interesting ones. We got McDavid here. What was the number I had? He had 153 last year. He was the leader in the league last year with 153. And it would take 18 plus seasons to catch Gretzky at that rate. Yeah, that's the one on the bottom. Yeah, it's just a wild record. What do you have there, McDavid? 569 games.
He's played 569 games. He has 850 points. He would need to play 20 more years with 100 plus points every year.
It's amazing. I don't know how he did. I don't know how he achieved these records. I mean, my
I
God,
don't either.
1.92 points per game on average.
Yeah, so I when we were looking this up, I was like, wow, I was like, surely Connor McDavid is like close to being on pace, and then you look and you're like, no, he's not even close to being on pace. I mean, his like you said, 153 points was his best season.
Like by
Like
a wide margin too,
by
right?
a,
Like
it was
30
like
or something like. Yeah,
yes. So he would need to duplicate that over the next 13, 14 years just to
and
get it. Imagine having a career year 14 years in a row. That's
yeah,
what
in the twilight of his career, when players play about what 7 years on average, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And he's already been in the league for however long,
it's
years
been
already,
I think
obviously.
it's his eighth season is eighth or ninth season, but it's just excuse me. And I know Connor Bedard, is everyone's going to be monitoring that, but just imagine that in order for Connor Bedard to do this, he's going to have 2 points every game, like
Yeah,
every single game of his career, and he's going to have a 20-year career
the
to do this.
longevity of it. Yeah, it's
So,
wild.
yeah, I don't think this one's going to be. I mean, just staying healthy. Like like nothing. You didn't like hurt a shoulder or like pull a hamstring or like nothing. So the
And
longevity and the pace is just really, really pretty crazy.
and for Yager to have be 936 short and play that 240 plus more games, it's just man,
Yeah,
that just says that says it all.
yeah, and that's the thing. Once you get past a certain age, you're just not the guy that's going to put up that many points anymore. Like
Yeah,
McDavid and Drysaitel. I mean, let's be honest. How many years? Like just talking about this record, how many more years are they going to be in their prime to be able to do that? It's not 13. It's
definitely not. I mean, Draisaitl's starting to get banged up a little bit already. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So he's 5 years at max of their prime. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So that's got to be into the the Unbreakable Sports Record Hall of Fame. Wayne
yeah,
Gretzky 2,857. So we got Ricky Henderson 1,406 stolen bases, Emmett Smith 18,355 rushing, and Wayne Gretzky 2,857. Those are the three that we have. So if you got one that you want us to go over, we'll do it next week. I think, Steve, we're just gonna have to do a quick little tidbits on Cy Young and Cal Ripken because
yeah,
we don't need to spend an entire episode breaking those down. It's pretty obvious that nobody's gonna get close to those, so they just automatically go in.
yeah. That would be a good place to go next week because then the following week NBA is the one of the four major
Yes,
sports we haven't touched on yet, and then we'll be getting into hoops. 2 weeks from
absolutely.
2 weeks from today will be a great time to do an NBA one. So
Absolutely. So I got a great one in the NBA. Got just a fantastic one that
nice.
I want to break down. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for us on the road to millions. Leave us a comment. Don't forget to hit the like button, and all plays can be found at WagerTalk.com. Good luck on all your plays, and we will see everyone tomorrow. It is Team Total Thursday tomorrow,
Sarah,
Steve. I love it. So, good luck, everyone. We'll see everyone tomorrow on the road to millions.
good luck.